Hello everyone, and welcome to Remnants of. Today, we'll be exploring what remains of the Black Armory in Destiny 2. This video will deviate a bit from our normal course, as we'll be exploring each individual forge, as well as showing off the route to reach them. Chapters will be added to the video at your behest. Without further ado, let's dive in. We will start our journey with arguably two of the easiest forges to reach, as they don't require any out-of-bounds work, VOLUNDR and GOFANNON. You want to land in the EDZ, Sunken Isles specifically, and make your way into the tunnel's load. Once in, head to your right and follow the cave system into Smitter's Cavern. Follow my path as we make our way to this location. And just like that, welcome to VOLUNDR. This was the very first forge we accessed in Season of the Forge, and would also be our starting point for a mysterious exotic quest line. VOLUNDR, like its sister forges, also had much more secrets to offer as well, such as these inscriptions all around the map. And now with VOLUNDR out of the way, let's move on to the next one. GOFANNON, like VOLUNDR, is also very readily accessible. You'll want to load up Artifact's Edge on Nessus. Once in, follow my path. Spare flying optional, of course. You'll want to head to the crashed ship off to your right. You're going to want to crawl through this Vex-like structure and cave. And just like that, you're in. Welcome to Lost Fuselage. There's really not much more to say about GOFANNON. It's just kind of here. There are still some inscriptions you can read, like this one here. With no enemies and nothing defined, it's in this state of limbo. With that out of the way, let's make our way to IZANAMI. IZANAMI is the most mysterious of them all, as it marks the only forge to have been removed with the DCV. However, we can still reach it, at least what's left of it. This marks our first journey out of bounds. You'll want to land in Artifact's Edge, just like before, and head to the Hollows. Once again, spare flying is optional, of course. Once you've hit the load for the Hollows, you'll want to aim your sights at the far right corner of the map. There'll be a little hole you can barely fit through and get out of the map. This route is a bit more difficult, so follow my path. Once you're here, you can scope in and see the preload for the Tor, aka Izanami Forge. On the surface, it may seem impossible to reach, but we actually do have two methods. One would be a desync and would require an extra fireteam member and much more time. The other is referred to as a funnel, and will be the method we're using today. Funnels are interesting, and they can be found all over Destiny. If you're unfamiliar with what a funnel is, let me try to explain. Imagine a box around the playable space you're in. Now imagine another section of that area way off in the distance. Both of these areas have boxes per se as barriers, but they're still in the same load zone. So instead of having those boxes be separate, a funnel connects the two. Izanami's Forge is indeed one of those areas that has a funnel. It looks something like this. The only hard part is, you'll have to follow it to a T. So let's do it. You'll need to jump exactly here. Once you start to fall, you'll notice that you've bypassed the death barrier, and you've hit this almost downward slope. Once you have reached the bottom of this slope, you'll have to successfully navigate forward through the funnel, avoiding the death barriers above, below, and all around you. But once done successfully, you've made it. Welcome to the Remnants of the Tor, aka Izanami. Now, you can't move around here too much. While the map no longer exists in the game, the load trigger still does. If you move too close, you'll hit it. This is referred to as a Link's error code, and it will kick you straight to orbit. And since this was the only forge to have been removed, the game does not know what to load. All of this, the removed map, the funnel, the error code, this half-baked state of what's left, is why Izanami being removed feels so strange. We've got one forge left. However, we still have a stop before that. While NIOBE Labs is technically accessible without going out of bounds, the puzzle room is not. NIOBE Labs itself can be reached from Sojourner's Camp, but the door leading to its famed puzzle room is locked. To reach this puzzle room, it's going to require some more in-depth understanding of Sparrow and Skimmer tech. In order to enter the puzzle room, you'll need another fireteam member to assist. You're going to want to head to the outskirts and approach the sludge load, but not hit it just yet. You'll want to be on a vehicle, like a Sparrow or a Skimmer, and from a specifically high angle. From here, boost forward and dismount. If done correctly, you'll hit a loading screen as well as a turnback timer, and you'll die to the load. If all of this is done successfully, you will have created what we refer to as a Quantum Sparrow or Skimmer. But what is a Quantum Skimmer, you may ask? If you have set it up successfully, the rider will not be moving on their screen, but to their fireteam member observing them, they'll be moving as normal. Without going into too deep of a guide, the rider will make their way to NIOBE Labs, while using their fireteam member as a camera of sorts. Once you've reached the locked door in NIOBE's load, the rider just simply dismounts towards the door, and they're in. Now let's explore NIOBE's famed puzzle room. With NIOBE out of the way, only one door remains, our last forge, Bergusia. Bergusia is likely the most memorable to Destiny players, and is our final stop on this journey. Ironically, Bergusia is one of the easiest forges to get back into. To reach Bergusia, you'll want to head back to Sojourner's camp and have that fireteam member ready. Now with a friend in your fireteam, approach the load for NIOBE labs, but don't hit it just yet. You'll want to make sure your gear is on low light and have a weapon that you can die with. As you hit the load for NIOBE labs, jump and die midair. This will spawn your ghost in the default position. When this happens, wait to revive yourself. Have your fireteam members shoot stasis crystals on the ground, covering the ghost, covering the floor, effectively blocking your spawn point. Once covered, simply press respawn and you're in, and welcome back in to Bergusia. All of these forges hold a bittersweet feeling in their current state, almost as if nature has retaken them. The empty state they're in only adds to that feeling. Whether you loved or hated the Black Armory and Season of the Forge, there's something special about seeing the remnants of what remains here. And with that being said, I'll see you on our next journey. Take care.